Welcome back. It's time for episode 6, Return of the Evidence. First off, congrats! You have learned how to select your sources, develop a strong claim, and give 2 clear reasons for your claim. But wait! Your argument and reasons need to be backed up by clear evidence from your sources. You may be wondering, but how do I use evidence in my essay? Well, first off, your evidence must clearly support the 2 reasons you gave for your claim. Secondly, your evidence must be properly cited or paraphrased. And finally, you must clearly explain how your evidence proves your claim. You're going to learn how to take care of number 1 and number 2 in this episode. Why does my evidence need to support my reason? This gets a bit complicated, so stick with me. Let's say I wrote a great claim. Han Solo is awesome. However, a claim, as you know, isn't enough. I need to give reasons for my claim, just like you learned in the last episode. In a traditional essay, we stick with 2 reasons. After I had examined my sources, I came up with 2 clear reasons for my claim that Han Solo is awesome. The first reason is he won the heart of a hard-to-please princess. The second reason was he helped defeat the Empire and saved the galaxy. However, where is my proof that he did those things and that those things make him awesome? This is where evidence comes in. I've given my reasons, but I need evidence to prove that those reasons are good reasons. If I give evidence of the awesome things he did to win over the princess and the specific things he did to help save the galaxy, I will have supported my reasons and made my argument, my claim, stronger. But the evidence that you choose is really important. So now you know, right? Let's look at an example for how to choose evidence, a bit more of a serious example. Let's say we have the claim, new drivers should be supervised as they learn to drive. You learned in the last episode that you need 2 reasons to back up your claim. So in this example, we have reason number 1, younger drivers can learn from an older, responsible driver, and reason number 2, also, young drivers don't have the experience to make good decisions when driving. I decided on these reasons after reading my sources, so I know there will be evidence from my sources to support these reasons. If I write my reasons before examining my sources, I run the risk of only considering information that supports my reasons instead of opening my mind to new ideas. Now let's look at the evidence that I found while I was researching for this claim. For each piece of evidence that I found, I have to decide if I should use it or not. Let's take them one at a time. One piece of evidence I found was that young drivers should be trusted to drive on their own. Should I use that piece of evidence? No. It actually goes against my argument and against my claim and the reasons that I wrote. It does not support the idea that young drivers should drive with a trusted adult. My second piece of evidence was that there are drivers all over the country. Should I use this one? This is a no too. It's irrelevant. The fact that there are drivers all over the country has nothing to do with whether or not teens should be trusted to drive without an adult in the car. My third piece of evidence was that there are thousands of accidents across the country every day. Maybe this one is iffy. It's true, but it's not totally relevant. How do I know that those thousands of accidents are caused by teenagers? I'd have to spend a lot of time explaining it or find evidence to back up my evidence. I think there's better evidence than this. I also found some evidence that said statistics show that young drivers have fewer accidents when they are with an older driver. Yes, this evidence clearly supports my argument that young drivers should drive with an adult, and it backs up the first reason that I gave. Now that I have great evidence selected, what's next? You need to decide whether you will paraphrase or directly cite the evidence you chose in your essay. Paraphrasing is usually a better choice. Paraphrasing means to put the idea into your own words. You should only use the exact words of the author if they lose their impact when paraphrased. Most of the words in your essay should be your own. Next, you must choose which reason each piece of evidence best supports and put it in the appropriate paragraph. Remember, your reasons are the topic sentences for the second and third paragraphs of your essay, and your evidence should support those reasons, or your essay won't make any sense. Finally, you must give credit to your source, even if you paraphrase. Always mention the title of the article or book or the author's name. Someday you will also learn about something called MLA, which is another way to give an author credit. Under no circumstances should you plagiarize. This is when you use somebody else's ideas, whether it's a citation or a paraphrase, and don't give them credit for it, making it sound like it was your idea. You can avoid plagiarizing by paraphrasing. Let's look at this quote from Han Solo. You never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. If I'm paraphrasing, I might write this in my essay. In Star Wars, Han Solo acts surprised someone hadn't heard about the Millennium Falcon because it did the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. Notice that a paraphrase has no quotation marks, and it does not use more than a couple of words from the quote in the same order. However, it still gives credit to the original speaker or writer, Han Solo in this case. You can also avoid plagiarizing by directly citing your source. Let's take the same quote. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. If I'm directly citing it, I could write, in Star Wars, Han Solo says, comma, quotation marks, you've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs, period, in quotation marks. Notice that the quotation marks are around the speaker or writer's words, not their name. It also gives credit to the original speaker or writer, in this case Han Solo once again. So, what's next for you? Well, it's time to practice. Go ahead and open up the attached Google Doc and complete it before moving on to the formative quiz. Good luck!